just as close as it could possibly be without touching in the beginning, and even for me sometimes, you know, you're going to still see some scraping. You know, I think I've mostly gotten good enough to where that usually doesn't happen. And actually for me, if it does, I know I did something maybe it's slightly wrong or slightly different than I normally do. In the beginning, usually, yeah, people's shins are really bloody. With this technique, you're going to want to use some long socks or something, you know, for a while to kind of help a little bit out, because it's a great indicator. And that's another thing. Like I said, if you start somebody with the bar out from the body, another thing about that is that, especially in the beginning, they don't have any awareness of where it's at. So even for me, with all the experience I have, like, it's hard for me to tell, man, is the bar an inch away from my shins or is it 4 inches away? I'm not real sure. I mean, and you can develop that, but you don't have an awareness of where the bar really is. So if you put it right up, if you just use the concept of putting the bar right up against your shin, you know where it's at. You know where it's at, and you have a better chance of keeping it close throughout the rest of the lift. Okay. So the sweep is something that we can use as an exaggeration from the start position that we're going to get into. All right. The scoop, on the other hand, is something that's going to happen on its own. You know, like I talked about before. So what happens for the people that I come across in my seminars or in my weightlifting classes that I see a lot of scooping in, most likely what has happened is that they've been taught that, or they've been told to focus on that. They've been told to, you know, they put an emphasis on it. So they may, you know, maybe their focus is, you know, create that good position above the knee, and then now scoop. They're actually thinking of scooping it. And again, if you're thinking about that, you're wasting focus energy, and you're going to do it probably too soon, too much. So in that case, for those people, I will have them exaggerate against the scoop. For the people that are looking pretty good, they're kind of just moving up from that position. I'm not going to have them think about anything in this range of motion. So this is the above the knee, this is extension. I'm not going to have them think about anything in this range of motion other than just moving fast and aggressively. Okay? Sometimes, and one thing that happens, like I was talking about, sometimes people will, even from a good deadlift start position, they will hang on to a vertical chin position too long. Like they'll drive back to get to this position, and they'll keep driving back. And so in that case, we'll have to do some other things to correct that, because we need to get to this position and then just move up. We just need to move up from that position. Think about moving up. Again, think about that Romanian deadlift. Even if you do a Romanian deadlift, your knees don't move back any further. You know, and another thing about creating a vertical shin position from the floor, sometimes people will do this. So they'll drive back, but they're not doing it soon enough, good enough with their knees. So they won't create vertical shins until too high. So you see how I'm tilted back. So you'll have kind of that same thing as out and around, you know, so we can still have to have them, and we don't want to do that. So the scoop, don't worry about the scoop. It's going to happen on its own. Don't focus on it unless we need to focus against it for a while to teach you to move a little bit better. Okay. Lean back. Again, this is another one. If you're focused on, man, I've got to get to that lean back position. Most likely, you're going to go back too much too soon. We've got to get straight up first. All right, we've got to get straight up first. And so that's why I want you to focus on extending straight up, and the lean is going to happen more on its own, especially if you learn to fully extend on every rep straight. Your body is going to lean on its own. It's going to go around the bar on its own. So these two right here, we're not going to think about those unless we need to go against them. The sweep we can use as a cue, but really we're trying to move the bar straight. Okay, you're going to hear those terms. You're going to hear those terms.